Hey, welcome into the Five Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast. We are your hosts, Jay and Alan. I couldn't think of anything clever there. I'm so bummed. We're here with your Week 18 script. Jay, man, this is the home stretch, man. I don't know. For most of us, there's 2-3 weeks left in the season before fantasy playoffs.
I was even gonna say too, check your settings, boys. I didn't realize until checking with all the trades flooding in for one of my I guess deeper leagues. But yeah, trade deadlines are coming up close and coming up quick.
Actually, I think during this week, this matchup, I know I keep saying week out of habit, but no, this is a crazy little matchup here. But yeah, we're the Week 18 script, straight from the NHL. Especially, it includes a lot of these guys going to the Olympics for some reason. I don't know. I guess that's something coming up. But yeah, we're there. Teams and streams for targeting news and updates from around the league. And as always, if you like what you're hearing here, like what you're watching, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us, subscribe wherever you get your podcast from. And then, I don't know, man, while we're just kind of twiddling our thumbs a lot here, you can follow us on Twitter, hop in the Discord, hang out with a bunch of other people who would also be twiddling their thumbs, and you slide into our DMs, ask about trades. Again, like Jay said, that's coming up here. But storylines. So again, like I've already said, this is a multi-week matchup in Yahoo. It runs tomorrow the 2nd through March 1st. Historically, at least as far as Yahoo goes, your ads do not replenish after each calendar week. So if you get 4 ads, 5 ads, whatever, you have to make that last through all of this matchup. So that's part of what we're here today to do, is help you out, help you figure that out. But at the end of the day, play however you'd like. There's a few different ways to handle this. Next up, Sam Renzel, called back up from the Chicago's AHL team. Plan is that Levshinov going to ride Pine for a bit, get back to some basics over the Olympic break. But it does look like in the meantime, Sam Renzel is running that power play 1. Jay, I don't know if we have any interest there. We're Chicago. 5 games over this matchup, 2 of them in that first half, which is probably where we can only rely on Sam Renzel to be running PP1. I mean, the games against San Jose, Columbus, any interest there?
Oh, Alan, don't give me FOMO, man. I literally dropped a whole bunch of Blackhawks as we went. I think there's so much opportunity with that team. It was really unfortunate just to see how much, and I know he's been back for a bit, right? But yeah, Connor Bedard, him being out, him coming back, he still, kept a pace, but his teammates haven't. And I think I would probably be looking elsewhere unless I had a completely threadbare waiver wire, in which point, the deployment is amazing deployment. Renzel would even be, I would say, just one of many that I would be just, clicking through if that were to be the case.
Yeah, I think so too. I think especially for this matchup, there's probably a much more useful pickup that could be made. And then earlier today, not long before we got in here, Calvin Pickard placed on waivers to be sent back down. Looks like Jarian Ingram it is. I don't know. Not great feelings there. But I mean, I don't know, like someone pointed out on Twitter, this could be an indication that they're about to make a bigger move, right? Clear up a roster space, because we do have that trade freeze coming up here, I think on the 4th for the NHL.
I'm literally out here, Alan, checking to see the Oilers and their Puckpedia, because I'm just thinking, who in the world do they have that's, I guess, a tradable asset that they would not need, and at the same time be able to, I guess, flip over for value. I think their issue right now is what their projected cap space is, that they are 2.5 million over.
I think
so. Is that just
Mangiapane has been someone that they've been talking about moving. It may not necessarily signal a trade or anything. I just thought that was an interesting take on it, that it could be indicative of some kind of roster roster change to come, whether that's trade or
I
just
didn't.
they're not playing
I
Pickard,
just.
send them down.
I don't think I realized just how old their team was as a whole. Like their entire spine, I want to say, is like 30, maybe 32, 33.
That sounds
And
right.
I don't know. It's just I don't think I realized and it clicked that much that this entire roster is slated to win now. But I don't know if there's enough room to add significantly to this roster. I think they basically just win with their lineup and
No.
hope the results turn out the way they, like the way they please. But if
Yeah.
not, yeah, I don't know if there are many pieces that they could, I guess, shift around and trade away in order to gain like a very powerful piece in turn.
Yeah. I
Like,
think that's kind of what we saw with the Jari trade, right? Like cap in, cap out. Like yeah.
because they even had that one guy that was a defenseman. I'm blanking at the name immediately, Alan, but
was it
he even
Kulak?
got. It was the guy sent over to Toronto. Who's the guy sent over to Toronto? Became like an immediate glue guy in Toronto's locker room afterwards. But just like they have to give up guys just to maintain staying under the cap. And I'm wondering if like that's the main setup that they're trying to complete most of the time.
Yeah.
Like the most frig, like is there a guy that's clearable? Like I'm even looking at like Mangiapane you mentioned before, he'd be the
it's
only
most
other
of the
guy that
rookies. Yeah, Mangiapane have to clear waivers.
right.
God,
Right.
yeah, I think it'd be a lot of their rookies, their younger guys.
They also
Yeah,
have a
let's
bunch of guys on vet contracts as well. Yeah, it's just it's a crazy time all the way through. But Yari and Ingram.
there it is, for better or worse. Yeah, move on to injuries here. Not really an injury, but Linus Ullmark did return from his leave of absence that started I think right after Christmas. Put up a 963 in that first start against Jersey. I mean, kind of place as much weight on that as you want to. Making notes like I considered Carolina a team with some good matchups in the first half because Ottawa was one of the teams they play. So we'll see. I think with Allmark, but I don't know. It sounds like there was obviously mental health stuff he needed to clear up, but it sounds like some of it is he worked with his old goalie coach. Hopefully that's oh my god, what did I see? It was some sort of weird blinder thing he was putting on to make him focus on just like tunnel vision. Looked really weird. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if the time apart from the team's actually done stuff from him. I mean, he's 70% owned, so I don't think you're gonna really get him. So hopefully you stashed him or just already had him. And then Patrick just asked about this next guy here, Natchez, day to day with a lower body injury right before yesterday's game. Top line was Lehkonen and Nichushkin with McKinnon, with Nichushkin moving up to power play 1. Yeah, I don't think this is some sort of trade shenanigans. I think if it was like I don't think teams have been shy about saying that someone is being benched for roster management reasons. I mean, look at Panarin, like finally have an IR spot to put him in because one of the guys I'll mention in a minute came back. But yeah, that roster spot, man. I hope someone frees the bread man here soon and he actually gets to play. And it's a good team. Come on, good team. Next up, Jack Hughes day to day with some sort of lower body injury. Also on the Devils, Heischer was a game time decision. Did play, didn't help them much because Heischer didn't really do anything. So yes, Jay, yeah, Aho and Strome was the move yesterday.
Oh man, Alan. I guess what's the phrase? I guess broken clocks could be right 3 times a day. I don't even
There
know.
we go, 3 times. And then the Washington goalies, Thompson is day to day. Did practice today though. Charlie Lindgren is on IR though, so that means he's definitely out through the Olympics because I think just regular IR is like a week. But yeah, hopefully Logan Thompson, especially Team Canada goalie, comes back soon.
Alan, like I don't. Anyways, I don't know how Canada's going to get through with it.
Yeah, Jordan Binnington. I don't know. Yikes.
Please hope, guys.
Hasn't even been the best goalie on his own team.
Hasn't even been the goalie on his best. Oh man, it's been a horrific time. And I was looking through trying to like dig if there were any updated news on that line, and I don't see any, Alan. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if there was any other additions for Natchez
Overall,
or not.
oh, Nations, yeah, yeah. I think it was just kind of everyone moved up.
Hmm.
I don't think there was really nothing anyone can actually go out and grab. I don't know. I think maybe Ross Colton was on the second line or something.
Maybe
Brock Nelson.
Lehkonen. I'm just trying to see where Lehkonen is.
Uh, if he's
Lek
available, I don't think he's someone that would be.
76%.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, never mind.
yeah.
No.
That's why every time they shift up their power play, it's just sort of like I don't know, guys. Unless it's someone like Olofsson who's like 10% owned normally, you really
Yeah.
can't do much but hold on to those guys in Colorado.
Is the Czech Republic or Czechia, is that in the Olympics? Because I'm just trying to
I
see
think
like
so.
Natchez is probably he's oh man, I hope I'm not missing
Oh,
like
maybe he
okay,
didn't want to
Pasternak,
chance it.
Pasta. Pasternak. I was trying to think like is Natchez the best player? I'm like, no, he can't be. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So Pasta's the best Czech player. But aside from Pasta, I was like, Natchez has got to be close, right? Like he's got to be one of their top guys. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
this
If he's
be
on their team,
something
I forget
precautionary?
which all these guys, man, are all over the place. I forget who's on what teams.
What team? But I was like, is this just a precautionary measure? Because they only
It
have
could
like
be
4 games left. I want to say, well, they have two games left, right? They only have 2 games left before they
Olympic
play
break.
Olympic hockey, right? So I was wondering if he's just, yeah.
Yeah. Next up on the Florida Panthers, Anton Lindell and Brad Marchand. Well, Brad Marchand again are both day to day. Looks like in yesterday's game they tried having Evan Rodriguez centering Verhage and Reinhart, but now today in practice it looks like Erod is now centering Luosterainen and Reinhardt's, which Reinhardt still a good place to be, probably top goal scorer on that team. You got Sam Miskevich skating fourth line. I don't know. It's Florida is one of the teams that you should look at for this coming matchup, but I don't know if we're interested if we think that holds, Jay. I don't know. There's no kind of real timeline as far as Lundell coming back. So I don't know. Is Erod of interest centering that line with Reinhardt? I don't think he gets power play one.
I mean, they do have a really good, I guess, like first half. They play 3 out of 4 nights this coming week, I guess, right before the break. They play all pretty hard teams, though, Alan. Like they play all must-win Atlantic games. Buffalo, they get a break on Tuesday, and then Boston and Tampa. Like they have to basically win out, I want to say, to have like a serious shot. And does Erod normally step up when it's like when it's tough opponents, or is he kind of like a flat track bully? I'm trying to remember. Like
No,
when
I think
seeing...
Erod's just sort of. I think I remember Matty K saying he's just one of those guys that can kind of hang with elite talent. But now's the time to do it because they're down Lundell. Barkov is weeks off. And so like I haven't heard anything better than playoffs as far as Barkov coming back.
So basically what we're saying is since he gets C1 PP2, we're hoping the elite talent he can hang with is E2 Luosterainen and Sam Reinhart.
And Luosterainen's actually been doing stuff. I have given up on trying to pick him up when Florida has a good schedule.
Right.
Yeah, he's definitely someone out there. And then rumored trade target. We got Rob Thomas here. St. Louis Blues undergoing a leg procedure and will return after the Olympic break. So doesn't sound like it's a major procedure, but the coach is saying that like every time he would take a stride, like it was painful. So yeah, you must not be that bad, but bad enough to take surgery in the middle of the season there. But I don't think he was on one of the Olympic teams. So I think this is just this is going to be a good break for a lot of guys who just need help. And then last up here, kind of hinted at it earlier, it does look like Victor Hedman will return in today's Stadium Series game. I got the alert earlier today that he was deemed healthy where I had him. Now, I hope none of you do anything silly like immediately drop Darren Radish. Like, I don't know. I don't think if he gets power play one back, I don't know if it'll be this game. Like, it's a divisional game. Tampa wants to keep top 3 in the division. I don't think they mess up that chemistry right now.
I mean, he's also on a fucking heater on 5 points
Yeah.
in his past 3 games. Like he is doing
Yeah, dude's
work
on
out
a
there
heater.
in that
If
blue line.
anything, like I've said, to kind of maximize Radish and Hedman's value, what I hope happens is that Hedman is the quarterback and that they put Radish in that left circle where Bjorkstrand's kind of been this season. Radish has a hell of a shot, and yeah, why not put him there where Tampa's been really needing a really good shot.
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
don't do anything hasty yet, guys. Like, just relax. And Tampa, not a bad schedule before the Olympic break. Tuesday and Thursday, they skip like the busy Monday, Wednesday. Yeah, I would say like with how few games there are, if you got Hedman, try to get him back in. But speaking of Breadman, we got a couple like one and a half questions here from Breadman here in the chat we take before we get in the schedule. He's asking, would you sell McCann and or Zook for playoff optimization? Could use a D that's good in order of blocks plus minus hits, or package a 2-for-1. Try to get a guy like Fehavari or Chernak. Yeah, for playoff optimization, heck yeah. Even though I do kind of like McCann, I think he should be rostered in more leagues than he is. But Zook, yeah, I'm okay with selling him. I actually think I just dropped him in a 10 team. Just because like he was cold, and then now apparently he had like a couple points yesterday. Yeah, for playoff optimization, heck yeah. And this is the time to do it right before there's a lot of games not played. So hopefully the trade goes through, and then you still get the benefit of McCann and Zook. And then the trade goes through like during the break.
I'm trying to think of a target that would fit his criteria: blocks, plus minus, and hits. I mean, I don't play in plus minus leagues, so I don't have that stat to cross reference. But just looking at some guys, I would assume maybe like a Mo Sider would be a solid
That's
guy.
a huge catch
that meets his criteria. But I'm like thinking Mo Sider is huge. I don't think you're getting a Mo Sider. So then if you keep going down, I was like, who else could fit his criteria? I was like, Brock Faber gets a lot of blocks, but I was like, is Brock?
Yeah,
does Brock
should be
Faber
pretty good plus minus too.
Plus minus. And then the other guy I was looking at would be maybe like what is Mike Matheson's damage looking like? Because I think he gets D2. He doesn't get any power play share.
Honestly,
he doesn't even for power play share.
Someone you may not even need to trade for. And I don't know if this really gets you optimization out of it, but JJ Moser on Tampa. I would go with him over Chernak. JJ gets the blocks, great plus minus. I think at one point he was one of the league leaders in plus minus.
Because it's got to be a team that
not
actually
really hits.
It's got to be a team that scores enough to the point where, like this guy either does like he needs to play enough minutes to be on the ice for a goal, but at least enough sheltered minutes so he doesn't get like every single odd man rush. And it's a very specific range that he's looking for, specifically if he's looking for selling on McCann, selling on Zook. Zook, I think, has a bit of the name recognition. McCann, I honestly think, I don't even know if people know that this man plays professional hockey.
I think he flies under the radar in a lot of places. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful there. Let's get in the schedule. So yeah, what I've kind of done here is divided this matchup into 2 halves, part 1, part 2. So part 1 here, this is up to the Olympic break. Monday and Wednesday are your heavy days with 10 games. Tuesday and Thursday are your light days with 7 games. And then part 2, when they come back, I think it's the 25th. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, typically your light days. Those are your light days here. Thursday, Saturday, you got 12 and 13 games respectively. Games played leaders. You got handful of guys here with 6 games over the full matchup. Buffalo, Florida, the Islanders, Pittsburgh, and Washington. Off night leaders, Buffalo and Washington. Probably 2 of the teams to target over the whole span. Vegas, 5 games, 4 off nights. Anaheim, I think Jay pointed it out either on the shutdown shift or on Saturday. Anaheim's games are 4 games, but they're all on off nights. Easy to get those in. Easy schedules. Utah, likely a play for the second half of the matchup. They play Vancouver and Detroit before the break, but then when everyone comes back, they play Colorado, Minnesota, Chicago. Colorado's been a little leaky lately. So is Minnesota when they play Wallstead, which seems weird. Not sure what's going on with Wallstead. Probably worth looking at some point. And then Washington, they have 2 games against Philly and 1 against Nashville over this entire stretch. Both teams are some of the leakiest at the moment, but Washington is kind of in the bottom third of goals for per game at the moment. So, opportunistic opponents, but they may not capitalize on it. Worst schedules here. Least games, like we said in the shutdown shift. The Rangers only have 3 games, 1 off night in the stretch. Boston, 3 games, no off nights. I think Boston, man, I think they only have 1 game before the Olympic break after today. And then hard schedules. While Buffalo has like a really good like games played off nights, they have 2 back-to-backs in there against both Florida teams. Not ideal. So they got their work cut out for them. But right now, Buffalo kind of a wagon. Strangely enough, I think they lost their game last night. So what's the stat now? Wouldn't they be like 19-4-1 in their last however many? It's just insane.
Oh no!
Yeah,
what a horrific dive.
Actually, are they still actually in a playoff spot? I haven't checked in a few days. Yeah,
wildcard one
crazy
with a game in hand over Boston as well. Yeah, it's kudos honestly to Allen. Like I think that team has missed out on how many playoff seasons. Like I think their playoff stretch, or I guess lack thereof from it, is like what it was like from like one of the first iPhones or some shit, Alan. It was like a long time ago. And
that's when it's bad. It's like, hey, like their playoff, like not making the playoff streak is old enough to vote or old enough to
vote.
Drink.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad.
Right.
Sorry.
And it was a tight game, right? Like that's the thing stretching forward where I think their next however many games in Boston, in Buffalo are with Buffalo, the next few games are against Atlantic opposition, right? Or wild card contestants. So this, I think, is the part of the season where we do see whereabouts they're going to end up because, heck, like they are going to be playing all the guys that they need to be beaten out that are fighting for their very spots and positions.
Yeah. And thanks, Patrick, for reminding me I hadn't like adjusted the screen yet. Yeah. So this whole matchup here was kind of tough for the visual crowd, like use our game grid and like flip back and forth for. So I just have Frozen Tools, who again love using their website. I just took the custom schedule and just put second to the first. Yeah. So I'll probably be scrolling horizontally a lot back and forth here. But yeah, so rather than just go to like typical tier 1, tier 2 teams here, I felt like it was just kind of more useful. Again, break it into 2 parts. Talk about, whether you're going to target the first half, second half separately, or just try to get the meta, play everything all at once, try to get the biggest bang for your buck here. So in the first half here, Buffalo, Florida, Nashville, Islanders, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, Washington. They all have 3 games in 4 nights in that first half. Buffalo, Islanders, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, Washington all have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. They avoid the heavy Wednesday. Some names to think about in there. Buffalo, Sucker, Quinn, Doan. They're all power play 1. Zach Benson for line 1. But yeah, Jack Quinn being the new addition there on power play 1. The Islanders, Palat should be widely available, although I think he's already bumped off that top line and maybe top power play. But Emil Heineman, a multi-cap monster on the Horvat line and power play unit, which I think is the quote top unit. It's the Schaefer unit. That's the one I would target. Someone on a little bit of hot streak right now, Tony DeAngelo. It's the 1B power play. It's got Barzal on it, but he's been getting you like 3 shots a game lately. I think 5 points in his last 7. Definitely someone I've already preemptively picked up for this coming week. Nashville, I don't feel like I feel like they're kind of bottom of the barrel as far as trying to target anyone here, but Luke Evangelista still on line 1, but he has been bumped from that top power play for March or so. Pittsburgh, I like Chinikov right now. Really clicking on that line too with Malkin, and it's Tommy Novak who is centering it. I thought it was Kindle. Maybe that's changed. And then Anthony Mantha, of course, lottery ticket extraordinaire. Washington, sort of Leonard. I like those guys as pickups. Anyone in those teams, Jay, you're thinking about? Or I didn't even cover riffs. I don't know if anyone we're looking at there for peripherals.
I don't know. I looked all the way through, and I think the issue is we're focused on obviously one half of it, but the other component is just I think the inverse of it was worth noting too, Alan. Like I want to say I loaded up even last night and everything on a shit ton of Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
And I think
I think Buffalo definitely one of the week-long pickups for sure.
Yeah. And I think the thing with just loading up on them is kind of like not set it and forget it, but I want to say just like to note, Alan mentioned it on previous pods about how this Olympic break sometimes has like resets on fan tracks. And so you end up at the situation where all those different Mondays and weeks, you might get additional ads on top. And so I would say trying to angle out for any players that would, I don't know, like for right now, I have Jack Quinn. Who else do I have, Alan? Like I have a Jack Quinn. I have gotta pull up my team over here. But yeah, like if I have all those Buffalo Sabres, I am probably likely more than anything to hold the Sabres at least through to Alan. What's their last game?
The end of the week. Was it the Saturday? But yeah, I think Buffalo definitely one of the teams you could pick up and hold the entire stretch.
The other one I was thinking
is their last game, so you could even go for a Hail Mary. But yeah, they skipped the busy Thursday.
The other angle I was hoping and wondering about was you could also see if you could get an Av or an Oiler or a King or a just Jersey. And like the reason I'm mentioning some of these teams is they have 3 games and 4 nights on the end of the schedule. So what you could do is if you end up with any of those early 3 gamers, right? If you get like a Buffalo, actually, Alan, if you go back all the way and scroll for the beginning for the first half. So if you get right in the first half, there's only 7 teams that get 3 games early. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
7 games. Yeah, there's only 7 teams with 3 games early. So if you get any of them, you right afterwards can try to double dip. And what you can do is immediately pick up guys that also on the second half of the week play 3 games in 4 nights for ending on the Saturday, right? So we're talking about Buffalo again, which is why it's really good to get Buffalo, I think, in this sort of scale and setup, because you can guarantee 6 games from one ad, but you also have an additional flexibility to add an additional game on Sunday, March 1st, should you need that extra game. And you also would retain flexibility should your team, you're kind of saying like, screw it, ain't going to win this week. You can use that last ad instead to flip over and grab for week 19. So I think Buffalo is probably like, basically go to Buffalo and see if like Jack Quinn,
kind of like if we want to say a tier 1, Buffalo definitely in the tier 1.
Buffalo. And I think crucially as well is Alan, I don't remember if we knocked it already, but they were like 2 teams that are like tier Z, like horrific teams.
New York and Boston, for sure.
Yeah, because they play 3, I think, this entire month. Like, let's say that again for listeners. They play 3 professional NHL hockey games in the month of
and that's February. Hopefully Lindholm stays in IR, so you don't need to mess with him. I mean, Pasta, you just kind of have to hold. McAvoy, you just kind of have to hold. But a lot Geeky, you have to hold. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of those guys on Boston. Everyone's picking up today for that Hail Mary that you probably drop after this. But I think another maybe decent. They're probably not top tier like Buffalo or maybe even Washington, but Florida, I think, is another decent week-long pickup. 3, they play 3 and 4 after the break. They avoid Saturday. And like we said, the top of the show, Erod centering Reinhardt at the moment. Uvis Spolinskis on power play 1 over Ekblad right now. I'm sure he's widely available. Sorry.
The only thing I would say with Florida is Florida plays that first half. Like, I don't like their first half schedule as much. They have to win, like the same way
But that's
Buffalo
good though.
has.
That means the guys you're picking up from that team have to play like great
That's true.
hockey. They have to
That's
score.
true.
They have
That's true.
to win their games. Um, and then I think another team maybe is only a first half play. Ottawa. They only play, or well, second half. They only play 2 games on the busy Thursday, Saturday after the break. Okay, yeah. So they're a first half play. Yeah, you probably just drop any guys you have from Ottawa after this first half here. Or if you're
Yeah.
trying to find pickups for the first, if you're splitting it into 2 halves and you want pickups for kind of like the first half, if you're trying to avoid those busy Monday, no, Tuesday, Thursday, Carolina, Jersey, Philly, Tampa, they play on the Tuesday, Thursday, the light days. And then here we go, Carolina, depending on how good Allmark is, we only have a sample size of 1. Depending on how much that time off did for him, Ottawa and the Rangers, I think, are very easy, winnable, not easy, but very winnable games for Carolina.
Yeah,
Easy team to stream from if you're trying to skip the busy days in that first half.
for sure. For sure.
And then, yeah, second half here. So kind of like, yeah, if you're playing at 2 separate parts here and you're targeting the second half separately, I would target Utah, Vegas, Winnipeg. They play 3 games in the second half, but they have all avoid the busy Thursday, Saturday. So they play Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Winnipeg, though, Pacific road trip here, Vancouver, Anaheim, San Jose, all away games. I feel like they're a last resort, especially right now. They're second to last goals for per game in the last 2 weeks, not even 2 goals a game. And I think it's funny because just as, Jonathan Toews was the hotness for a moment, he ain't done shit lately. Confirming my bias. Utah, Lawson Crouse and McBain. I had 2 guys almost point per game, right? Kind of in the last couple weeks, and they give you bangs. Vegas looks like that line 1 Riley Smith didn't stick. Keegan Kolzar, a lot of hits, 5 points in his last 7. Barbashev back up on top line there. Yeah, and then Florida and Washington, like we've kind of hinted at, they have that 3 games in 4 nights, and they avoid one of the 2 busy days. Florida avoids Saturday, Washington avoids Thursday. Yeah, any other teams,
Man.
CJ, that were maybe if you want to play it 2 separate halves and flip to a second team in that second half?
Yeah, well, Utah you mentioned before, and I thought about Utah deeply before dropping all the guys. So you know where I stand on it, Alan. But the Utah team has a really not so great early schedule because they only play 2 games. One against good and easy Vancouver opposition tomorrow, but then also at the same time against the Red Wings come Wednesday. So they're not exactly facing, and then they go on the break, right? So they play 2 games only this remainder of this week. They play on they play on all the heavy nights, but then afterwards, Vancouver again struggling. Ducks, well, actually, no, I shouldn't say struggling. Didn't they win like 4 in a row? Let me check. So yeah, they lost 2 in a row, but they won 4 in a row, and then they lost another 2 in a row. So then they're facing against the up and down Ducks, and then they face off against, I guess, like bottom feeding Chicago. So like all on off nights, by the way, all on off nights. So I was just like thinking about Utah as, wait, could this team basically be like a very, very good stream for the second half? But I don't think I would burn any ads now. You know what I mean? I would keep Utah as sort of like, okay, these are my off night kings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Off night kings. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the off night kings.
Not the LA Kings, but the off night kings.
Yeah,
Very
the off
different.
night kings. Yeah, but
One's
Anaheim
actually
also,
good.
One's actually good, yeah. Anaheim's got a pretty good setup as well. They're also off nights all the way through. Winnipeg and Vegas is a similar setup. So I would say maybe those 4 are all the.
I just don't like Winnipeg, man. That secondary scoring's dried up again.
It's been horrible, honestly. Like, where are they, Alan? Though, like, the West is pretty relatively. No, they're still like 8 points out. I don't know. It's a weird one where the teams that are all in that second half are pretty distinctively not the same teams that are valuable in the first half.
Oh yeah.
So, with the grand exception, I think of Buffalo. Buffalo is the one team where they also have a good, solid, I guess, front half and second half of this week 18 schedule wise.
Yeah, agree. I mean, they play some tough opponents. Like I said, it's back to backs against both Florida teams on either side. Yeah, I think if
I guess Florida
Buffalo
also.
gets taken, though, I do think Pittsburgh is a sneaky week long
Yes.
hold. Like they're leading the league right now in the last 2 weeks at like almost 5 goals a game.
Yeah. So
It's like
Florida
4.86.
and Pittsburgh too. Florida and Pittsburgh are really, really juicy, juicy first and second half holds.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if we want to play it separate, I don't think no one really sticks out to me as like no one else really sticks out to me as like these are the teams to target in that second half. Like we just said, Utah, Vegas, Winnipeg.
Anaheim.
And Anaheim. Yes, because
they also play all off nights, basically. Yeah.
Oh,
and
man, I
they
missed that,
play
yeah.
against pretty easy. I don't want to say pretty easy. Like,
Oh
obviously,
yeah.
well,
Edmonton's going to let some in. Calgary probably going to let some in. And these are all home games.
All home games. And crucially, they're playing against the Oilers. Don't the Oilers have like everyone on their team going to the Olympics? So they're basically going to play like some super, like it's going to be rested up. And like, I think nobody from Anaheim's going to the Olympics, right? So it's like a rested up team is going to face off against like battle hardened, grizzled vets. Like, feasibly speaking, and this sounds like really, really preemptive, but I'd imagine the teams that make it deep are going to be one of like Canada, the USA, Sweden, or whatever. Like I'm basically listing out the Edmonton Oilers, right? So all those guys are going to be like fighting their asses off, and then afterwards they come right over to get beaten up by the goons in Anaheim. You know what I mean? Like it seems like there's
and then hopefully Anaheim gets some of their depth back. It sounds like McTavish is a game time decision today.
For sure.
Yeah, there we go. So then a couple questions here. And this is probably a good way to wrap this segment here. D-Stu, who do we like between Zucker, Quinn, and Sortif? I don't know. I feel like Quinn may have just gotten that deployment, but he could be first on, first off, or last on, first off. There we go. Yeah. I'm just kind of liking, I don't know, like Zucker, but I also like Sortif. But if PLD comes back, I feel like that impacts Sortif's deployment as well. I don't know. I almost feel like Zucker is the safest one here.
Both Quinn and Zucker are on the same line. They're on each wing, and then they're also in the first power play, right? So I don't want to say it's agnostic. Like their minutes seem really, really similar as well. I think it's just a matter of do you need shot volume, I guess, is one of the angles I would go for, because mainly it looks like Jack is the guy that's just like peppering the net. Oh, sorry. No, that's not true. Zucker was out for a while. I don't know. In that case, Alan, I think it's pretty agnostic. I think they're relatively operating
the same. I feel like Zucker's deployment may be a little safer.
Right.
Because as soon as he got back from injury, he was, power play 1, kept his deployment. I think he also gets you some hits. I think maybe although that may have dried up since he came back from injury.
I was going to say too, like when D-Stu was mentioning this, who do I like between them? I view all of them the same in the sense that this is just my waiver wire spot and I'm choosing. I would even say probably get the guy who you think is going to not, what do you call it? Get the guy who you think everyone else is likelier to get. Because you basically want the other guy to be forgotten. Because how many people are going to choose players exactly based on teams and availabilities? Maybe. I think sometimes people just see whichever guy is at the top of the wire. You know what I mean? Like they just flick over, they see who's at the top of the wire. So if you get that guy, they might just move on. So I would.
Yeah. And Quinn has more points though. So I think Zucker's the safer floor. Quinn's the higher ceiling. Sortif is also just good, but I feel like for the second half, if PLD comes back, that sort of jeopardizes what he's doing.
Right.
yeah, a lot of capitals out right now. So yeah, I don't know. Would we agree? You agree with that, Jay? Quinn
I
for the
ge- I
ceiling, Sucker for the floor,
I
sort of.
added them both, so that's where I stand. But um, if I had to only choose one, I think I did add Quinn first.
Yeah, there we go. And to D Stu's point, Quinn may be one of the guys that gets bumped out of that top six.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think Quinn's the ceiling play. Yeah, Zucker's the floor, sort of also, I don't know, I want to say in the middle, but also definitely worth mentioning of those three. And then Turnberry here are fancied pickups for the split schedule. I wonder if he means like,
Well, he was saying just like list out some names that would be like targeted from those teams that we talked about. So, what do we mention? So we said Florida's got some pretty good setups. We
yeah,
said Pittsburgh's got some pretty good setups, and we said that Buffalo's got some pretty good setups,
I
right? So,
of kind of the quote best schedules, I feel like I would target Washington, Buffalo first. The guys we've talked about, yeah, let's go. Yeah, like Quinn, Zucker, Doan. I feel like a lot of these Buffalo guys are available. Washington, I like sort of. I think Ryan Leonard's still getting power play one.
yeah,
Definitely someone to target there. And when we say Pittsburgh across both weeks, I like Chinikov and Mantha.
mm, mm. What's Kindle up to?
Line three. Yeah, I
Oh
thought he was
God,
centering line two, but
I thought
apparently
he
he got
was.
bumped
Yeah.
down at some point. It's Tommy Novak on line two.
Witherspoon maybe if no, but
On
everyone's
defense.
back. Letang is still out. So yeah, I guess
Oh
Barcelona.
yeah, no, that was something that came through today. Yeah, Letang, I think out 4 weeks with a foot fracture
Right,
or some kind of fracture
Basically,
in his
just
legs.
he basically needs to take some time during that Olympic break to really heal up. Basically, so um,
Yeah, and
I guess
Shea actually kind of a sneak. It might be a sneaky plus minus play. I know we were talking about
hmm,
that
for
earlier.
sure, for
I
sure.
think he's the sneaky plus minus play on the Pens. And then there we
And then I
go.
would say Florida. We were saying as always, Samoskevich, Evan
Well,
Rodriguez.
Samoskevich is fourth line right now. Unless he moves up, like not even today, but like in practice tomorrow or something. I'd
Yeah,
see
I
if
don't think that
Lundell
power
comes
play.
back.
Hmm.
Erod if Lundell is going to miss some major time. Um,
Luster I guess. Good,
yeah,
good, good,
it can be.
solid value.
If other people want to take a chance on Lusterine, I have given up on him. Um,
Are we still saying his name? You've Spalinskis
yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
or
Because it sounds like Seth Jones is going to be out through the Olympics. They've already replaced him
yeah.
on the squad there. But yeah, and then Patrick's got a trade question here. Schmaltz, Trennan, Demidov for Geeky Velarde. Opinions opens up a spot for activating Sherwood. Okay, so he's trading Schmaltz, Trennan, Demidov
I would do it.
for
I
Geeky
would do it.
Velarde. Yeah,
I would say out of all the names, I'm most interested in Geeky. So then everybody else here is kind of somewhat surplus parts to requirements, and then you get us
Velarde
for
makes
him.
me nervous. Again, that secondary scoring on Winnipeg, but who knows? I mean, in a month from now, Velarde, top line or
Right.
whatever, and we're not this conversation's moot.
Right.
There we go. Okay, so Turnerby's giving us some waiver wire options here. Quinn, Doan, McLeod. Yeah, and yeah, I feel like McLeod gets bumped if Norris comes back there. Sort if Marchessault, Verhage, Marchand's day to day. Mantha. There we go. So yeah, this is where goals are the big deal.
I think when I see his names out, the first name that sticks
Quinn.
out too.
I think Quinn is probably the grab first before everyone
I
else.
think I think the name that stands out to me is Verhage. No, like there's nobody else. There's no.
Really, what's has Verhage actually been doing anything lately? I feel like he got dropped in one. I was able to pick him up off wires at one point. He got dropped. I mean, he's pacing a little bit better than he was last season.
He's
63
just
point pace over 54. His shooting
he's just
percentage
had
is back to normal. shooting pace is down almost a full shot. I'm just
I don't
not a
know, but
fan of Verhaeghe since he got the bag.
I don't know. He's got 18 shots over his last 5 games, right? So I'm just assuming,
He's actually
what,
trying, and I think he's on PP1 right now. Of course, that
it's
probably
just a weird
changes
one
if
where,
Marchand comes back.
like, dude's literally shooting 3.5 shots or something like that a game, right? Like, I'm assuming at some point one of them goes in. Hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean his shooting percentage has rebounded from last year, so
Right.
yeah, I
Where's our
mean
Michael
that's
Scott? Where's our Michael Scott quote, Alan? I don't know, but like
he
it's
misses 100% of the shots he don't take.
shots you don't take.
Um,
It's just he of the other names here, his ownership rate is also sky high, right? So that could be that that needs to be taken into fact that it is Yahoo, it is agnostic. Of course, people might have forgotten about their leagues at this point. But having said that, just look at the other names that are around. Quinn, Doan, those are both guys that I saw on the wire. McLeod, like not guys you build like rosters around, sort of same idea. Marchessault, I would look over as well, but I would venture to say, like,
yeah,
just
yeah, I'm
that
hoping he gets moved. I
right.
don't like Marchessault in Nashville.
He's a 13% ownership. So I think just on virtue of the masses, Verhaeghe's got to be the guy that is most owned, and probably I would grab him, especially with the strong Tampa schedule. Like, I would prefer Buffalo schedule. I don't prefer Buffalo schedule to the point where the very late base layer of a player of Quinn and Doan comparative to Verhaeghe, that I would take Quinn and Doan over Verhaeghe. I think Verhaeghe is the guy you gotta. Verhaeghe, I would even say, like, if you pick him up, like, you probably could find someone else in your roster that you could vacate spots for to keep Verhaeghe. Like, that's what I was thinking, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, Troy Terry. I mean, he is coming back from injury. I'd say if you can wait and I think is he back? I forget if he's back tonight.
Terry.
Yeah, if he's actually back tonight, I feel like I'd still rather take the ceiling of these Buffalo guys. Yeah, Troy Terry's not in IR day to day anymore. Yeah, I don't know. Troy Terry, when I picked him up, he's more of a stream to me. Well, which I guess is what we're asking about. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think I'd rather target the Buffalo guys. I think a better ceiling.
Troy Terry. Yeah,
Verhaeghe. I do like the Verhaeghe, especially while he's getting power play 1, but that could just be while Marchand's out.
I would just go for Verhaeghe and then forget about the other stuff.
Did we get all the questions?
What was it? At the end of the show, can you mention some buy low target?
Buy lows, yeah.
Target.
So let me just finish what we have planned here. Goalies. I feel like Alex Lyon, if he's not 50%, he's got to be 50% very shortly here. Yes. Someone to just go check the wire on, especially with Buffalo's schedule. Grubauer dipped to 28%. Seattle does have 2 back-to-backs and then a lone game versus Vancouver. I don't know if he'll get that because they've been kind of 1-to-1 with him and Decord. David Riddick, I think, is nice for some spot stars. Probably going to see 2 to 3 starts in the stretch. They have a couple of back-to-backs. Islanders have been rolling pretty well lately. I know they're in a playoff spot, fighting to keep it. Ryan Hartman is 12th forward in the chat here. Ryan Hartman, I mean, is he getting line 1? That's really the only time I'm interested in Ryan Hartman.
He and Erickson are flipping it. So Erickson's line 2, power play 1, and Hartman is line 1.
Yeah, if he's not getting 2. Steady deployment, not interested. And then some buy low guys. Jersey. Like Jersey as a whole. Especially Brad. I just feel like there's something's gonna cave. And more shots are going to go. I mean, that shooting percentage has come up for them, but not enough. And then Jack being out really doesn't help them. So I don't know if they make a trade here soon or they just write it as it is, and it's not going to be pretty.
The other one I was thinking is what guys on the Rangers are rather what do you call it?
You're not buying low on Zib right now. One of the
I was
best
thinking
players on the team.
not trade preventable, but just, guys that would not be movable, but also would be valuable to hold on just for like a playoff setup, right? Because you're saying buy low. We want to buy low on a player that can actually be valuable in the weeks that matter, right? So in our league, for example, Alan, I think right now it's what? Zib, Cooley, Tro, and then I'm going to say JT Miller for me personally probably falls like not too
he
rich.
might just be sustainably low from God. How long ago was that? Where he used to go in like end of the first round because he was just multi-cat monster.
But he's not the same. Like New York Rangers Miller is like the same thing as Shark Timo. He's not the same Miller as he was with the Canucks. And I'm just wondering, like, are those three names that I just mentioned, like, do we see them at risk of being traded at any point after that public statement from like a month ago or whatever? Like,
right.
Zib, Cooley, Tro. Aside from that, is there anyone else that we're saying like you can try to like trade for any of these guys with the schedule in mind? Like,
I would say not with the schedule in mind, but I see, Morrissey cold in his last 5 might be a time to try to buy low on him. I feel like his deployment is pretty safe.
Right.
I don't want to say buy low on Nick Schmaltz. Like Schmaltz may just be coming back down to earth as he does.
Right.
What who else here? Yeah, I'm not really seeing any. Well, I had Lucas Raymond. He's only cold in his last 3 though. Yeah, he's still pacing. Really, yeah. I don't know if this is the time to try to buy low on Lucas Raymond. Who else here? I mean, maybe Nate Keller colds in the last 4, but that's not really playoff optimization there.
Well, I guess the sell high is pretty simple with Coyle. If you think Coyle's still going to keep going.
Or wait, Charlie Coyle? Yeah. But I mean, I know he's also rumored to be on the move. So I'm not sure if that's, it'd be the perfect sell high, right? Like,
it'd be the perfect
someone's wanting to buy and knows better.
Yeah.
They're not going to go for that. But Columbus, I'm not really interested in their schedule here in this stretch here. Yeah, 4 games, 1 off night. So who do they even play here in this stretch? I mean, Jersey, I do like that back-to-back they have in the first half. Jersey and then Chicago. But then the second half, after everyone comes back, it's just Boston and Islanders, 2 teams that could absolutely shut them down. But oh my God, what are they up to? Like 8-1, 9-1 or something since the coaching change.
Oh man,
a little bit of a wagon right now.
I'm so curious to see what they end up doing. I also noticed that Voronkov got bumped all the way back up. It says he's line 2, power play 2, but he still only got 11 minutes last night. So
I think there was some discussion about like, how can this guy use his size without drawing so many penalties? So I'm wondering if he sat a lot. He played a lot more in the box than he did on the ice there. I think that's probably good. I think we kind of got through all the questions there in the chat there. Good luck. Again, Discord, Twitter, if you got any questions over the break. I think Yahoo's trade deadline is the 25th by default. So check if you're crafting trades there, you can always hit us up. Anything else you can think of, Jay? I think that's probably time to bring it in. All right. As always, thanks for listening. During the Olympic break there, hopefully some extra content rather than just normal shows. I don't know when we'll be back. We'll have to figure it out, but we'll definitely keep everyone posted on Twitter, Discord there. Have a good rest of your Sunday, man. Take care of each other. Be nice to each other.
Enjoy the Olympics, buds.
Yeah.
We will pick you up later.
Nuggets.